Hello, welcome to the What Caregivers Need to Know video show brought to you by eCareDiary.com. I am Lisa Smith, your host for today's show. Today we are going to talk about therapeutic growth model offered by Hope Grows. We are very excited to have with us Lisa's story. Welcome, Lisa.
Oh, thank you for having us today. This is great.
Great to have you. Lisa is the founder and executive director of Hope Grows, a nonprofit organization for caregiver support. A licensed counselor and certified thanatologist, Lisa has written programs using gardening and nature to understand grief and for self-care. She has received an award for specific training in relation to health and sustainability. You can find more information at www.hopegrows.net. What is the Hope Grows model, belief and focus in care?
Sure thing. Our mission is actually to inspire hope through nature while empowering caregivers to seek wellness of mind, body, and spirit. Our motto is actually care for the caregiver. So we believe that if we reach caregivers in the early stages of them being a caregiver, that we're going to be able to support them in self-awareness and coping skills that's eventually going to help them with maintenance of their quality of life and also the possibility of preventing the onset of chronic illness. The strain and stress that caregivers endure while they're providing care for their care recipients is daunting, and it sneaks up on a caregiver much before they realize what's happening to them, and then they end up sick themselves. Right. So that's our model. Our core values are that we believe in nature and the natural world as being therapeutic, and we pull that into all of our programming and everything that we do with our services that we provide. We also believe in a positive, mindful, holistic approach to wellness, and we believe that mindfulness is a therapeutic tool for just overall, feeling better in wellness. And we also believe that caregivers not only need a break, they deserve a break. Right. Okay. Yeah.
All right. What's on the horizon for Hope Grows?
Well, first I'd like to talk a little bit about our core services first. We have 3 areas of our focus, and that's counseling and support, which includes mental health counseling and different types of support and education type groups for caregivers. We also offer what's called therapeutic respite, and that's just holistic and mindful activities on a monthly basis that helps caregivers focus on themselves and their own self-care. We do that through nature walks, labyrinth walks, essential oils, teaching about how to use essential oils, and one of our other programs is called Take a Break in the Dirt currently, and this is an adaptive gardening program for children with disabilities to participate in a garden with a universal design, and it allows that family caregiver to take a short break. Mm-hmm. So we're funded by the Pennsylvania Department of Health, and we implemented a respite care worker model that came from Temple University called Take 5. And as long as we were training our volunteers in that model, we could implement the programming how we wanted, and we thought, well, since horticulture is such a huge component of what we do, why not implement that into this program? So we train volunteers to be with that child in the garden setting, and they participate seasonally. So we do 4 seasonal programs a year, and our spring program is actually starting April 19th. So if somebody wants to get involved as a volunteer, or a family thinks that they might have their child participate in the program, they can go on our website and get information for that.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, so what's on the horizon? We have a couple of programs that are going to start this summer. One is called Care for the Caregiver, and it is a phone service that we will be checking in on caregivers on a regular basis just to see if they need anything, if they need a resource, or just even provide that person to say, how you doing today? Just check in with them. And then the other program that we're starting is called the Caregiver Garden Connect Project, and we're going to be working on developing a evidence-based volunteer program where the research will be going through Chatham University, and we do have a pilot facility for the start of this program. And we will train our volunteers through active listening, empathetic support, listening for emotions, getting them to talk and tell their story. Because when you talk about your story and grief, it does become therapeutic. So same with caregiving. If you talk about the story of what you're doing, it does become therapeutic, and it also puts that focus on themselves, and they become more aware of maybe their needs and what they might need, basically, you know, as far as physical, emotional, or mental and spiritual support. But what the nice part about the program is the volunteer will actually meet the caregiver either in the home or at the facility that their care recipient is at. So it does help with that time constraint that caregivers seem to always have. And it'll just lend itself for just a sort of this focus around not only the family caregiver, but it's going to provide some support there for the professional caregiver too, because it's going to pull that family caregiver away from the professional. Not that they don't want that there, but it's their job is to care for the care recipient, not the caregiver. So this just lends itself for some more support in the facilities too. And then the third is our ongoing project that we've been working on for a couple of years now, and that's the opening of an overnight bed and breakfast for caregivers to take a break away overnight or 2 nights. We have the house already. We currently have 5 healing and restorative gardens on the property, and the land has 2.5 acres, so we do have plans to develop the rest of the gardens. So for a caregiver, they would, you know, call, book a night there, you know, spend a night. They could participate in spa or salon amenities if they wanted, or they can just sleep. You know, and also there'll be an option for them to voluntarily meet with a counselor too, just to say, you know, help me figure out where I'm struggling and see what we could do to help them put a plan together to take home and implement. So that's probably still a couple of years out, but we're getting closer to getting those doors open. Very nice. Thank you.
And can you tell us about your upcoming spring benefits?
Sure. This will be our 3rd year for our Victorian Tea, and the focus is creating conversation or continuing that conversation about the need for caring for the caregiver. This year's theme is the emotional journey of the caregiver, and in addition to our Victorian Tea, we've added a Tea Time Golf Classic. So it's going to be 2 great events, 1 great cause. T and T basically is, you know, we're doing a little play on words there. So obviously the shotgun start for golfing will start at 9 in the morning, and then the tea goers, or the tea sippers, if you want to call them that, will start about 1:30. You know, it starts at 1:30 and they'll be there till 3:30. And then the tea goers will have the option to purchase in for the dinner, and they could stay with the golfers as the golfers transition into the room for the dinner and awards. So
Very nice.
We're excited about it. Last year was our 2nd year for our Victorian Tea, and we ended up increasing our guest list by 50% our 2nd year.
Wonderful.
And raising twice the amount of money. So, and all of our monies that we raise go back into, you know, the programs for the caregivers, and, you know, obviously the immediate needs of the organization as well, to keep the organization going.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Well, you have a lot in the works. And if anybody wants more information, again, that's www.hopegrows.net. Or if you want to volunteer, I'm sure they would welcome that. Thank you for joining us today. And again, thank you everyone for joining us. And to learn more about future shows, please go to www.eCareDiary.com. Thank you.